Welcome to the Building Up Women in Property podcast. I'm your host, Rebecca Bangura, and I'm thrilled to have you here with me today. This podcast is for ambitious women who work in property and construction who want to learn how to have a career they love on their terms. Join me every week where I'll leave you excited and confident to take your next steps. Thanks for being here with me. Now let's get started. Hello, beautiful. Thank you as always for being here. Today is the last podcast of the year, and I wanted to leave you with a juicy one because you are spending your time with me and I feel greatly honoured, and I want you to ponder this concept as you are taking time off and hopefully spending the holiday period with family and friends and relaxing and rejuvenating and resetting for the new year. I wanted to leave you with this concept to really mull on and to think over and to be fresh of mind as you step into 2023. And this is making the decision to succeed. Now, this sounds simple. Lots of people would say, of course, I am making a decision to succeed every day. I'm always seeking success in my life and in my career. The truth is, very few people intentionally make the decision to go after their dreams. Instead, most people are teetering on the edge of success. They are teetering on the edge of a choice, of a decision to go all in and back themselves to create the career, to create the life, to create the lifestyle and the impact and the influence that they want. Because we're terrified of this, right? We've been taught that, don't put all your eggs in one basket and we don't want to look stupid if we don't succeed. But the truth is, by not making this choice that we are going all in to create the life we want, we are doing ourselves a huge disservice. And so I want you to think about this. I want you to make the decision that you are doing this. So I want you to get clear on what it is that you want. I want you to define success for you. What does your life look like? What would it look like if you were living the biggest expression of yourself? What would that be? What does that mean to you? And then I want you to decide that you are doing this, right? Make that bold, audacious decision for yourself. Make that declaration right now that this is your only pathway forward, right? Stop giving yourself options. Let go of all the possibilities for anything else and become laser focused on what it is that you want and how you are going to achieve it. Because when we have that intentionality, when we have that clear desire and that deep-rooted commitment, pathways start to appear. It's as though the universe literally comes together and starts to guide us in a certain direction. And we're taking actions that are consistent and are aligned with what we want. And other things just start to fall into place. Synergies happen, opportunities present, and once you really allow yourself to step into that process of being that successful version of you that has this life that you desire, once you step into it, you start to actually embody that person. You start living that life and you start to expect more from yourself and you go all in. You are no longer playing both sides of the coin. You are no longer hedging your bets. You are committed to one thing and it drives you forward, right? It propels you, and action leads to more action. Really think about it and imagine that the career and the life that you dream of is inevitable. How would you start showing up? What would you start letting go of? Because the truth is, when you make that decision to go for your goals, you become a new version of yourself. You up level in that instant. And you start to let go of the things that no longer serve you. Sometimes you actually unbecome the person you were. You make different choices. You make choices that are aligned with the future you want, not the past that you have. You are no longer seeking validation from your past to inform your future. You are creating a whole new future. And you have the certainty and the belief and the persistence and the tenacity to make it happen. Right? And that's not to say that things will go perfectly and that you'll never screw up. Like, of course you will, because, we're human. But what it does mean is that every stumble, every struggle on the way becomes a lesson. It becomes a learning that allows you to become better and to get closer to that goal because you've made the decision. There is no going back. You are not looking for an out. You are not looking for an escape route. You are committed to this process and you actually start to enjoy the process of becoming the person you dream of. You enjoy the process of learning to be a better version of yourself, a more intentional and aligned version of you. And you start to feel the joy of that growth and the joy of becoming something that inspires you. And the joy of becoming something that not only you aspire to, but someone that actually inspires you. You well and truly become the captain of your own ship. And you start to steer the course for your career, for your life. And once you make that commitment, once you make that decision to succeed, once you decide that is what you are doing and this is the life that you are working towards and this is the life that you want, there is no going back. So stop giving yourself the options because the options, they muddy the water for us. They dilute our focus. So decide what it is you want, what success means to you, and go all in on it. I hope you've been enjoying the episode. I wanted to take a moment to let you know about my free Career Confidence Masterclass. This is for ambitious career-orientated women who are ready to stop playing small and to confidently create a career you love. Head over to my website, beautifuldisruptions.com for more info. Now let's get back to the episode. Get intentional and allow that pathway to appear before you because it will. You'll be taking action and synergies will occur. You will find new opportunities, doorways will open, and you'll start to find energetic alignment with people and with the work you do. And you'll be drawn into that. And you will really get to be that person you dream of. And you can start living in that space of enjoying that abundance and that impact and that clarity as soon as you make that choice. As soon as you decide you are going to succeed, you are going to achieve your goals. And that's not to say that there won't be resistance. There will be. Our brains will always challenge us and ask if we can really do this. Self-doubt will creep in. Imposter syndrome will creep in. All of those things will still be there. We will question whether it's possible. And these thoughts will circle around in our minds. But once we've made the definitive choice on what we are going for, what we are creating, we can shut those thoughts down, right? We can act in spite of those thoughts. We can let go of that confusion and that doubt and the thought patterns that our brain has practiced for decades. We can let go of those. We can start to create new thought patterns that serve us and that lead us in the direction that we want to go. Because the truth is, our brains operate almost entirely on autopilot. And our brain will always go to default thinking. It will always go to protecting us. And when we make the decision to be all in on ourselves and what we want, it requires us to challenge our own thinking. It requires us to rewrite our story and rewrite our future in a way that excites us and aligns with what we want to be and who we want to be and how we want to feel. And this isn't in anyone else's terms other than our own. So get intentional and allow useful thoughts to guide you and to support you on this journey to creating the success you dream of. And you might want to use mantras. You might want to use affirmations or really spend time in imagining the results, seeing what that end result looks like and feels like in your mind's eye. Dream and explore and really get curious about your own success. And enjoy that feeling. Sit with it. Allow yourself to actually embody what that feels like. And I don't think we do this enough. We are so focused on being realistic and following a well-worn pathway that we forget to dream. And we forget that we control our own thoughts. And our thoughts are what drive our actions and what drive our results. And so once we decide we are going to succeed, we have our own backs and we are going all in, then we literally become the drivers in our own life. We start to make good decisions that are aligned with what we want to do and where we want to be, and that version of us that exists at the higher level. We start to operate from that space, not where we are right now. We start to grow into this new identity and this new version of ourselves that knows we will succeed. We no longer doubt ourselves. We might not know how to do everything yet, but we know that we can figure it out. And that self-belief, that self-confidence, that is what allows us to push forward when things are tough. It's what allows us to push forward and do the work even when we don't feel like we want to. Because we have our eye on the prize. We are focused on something bigger than the moment. And we stop circling around in doubt and overthinking and overwhelm. And instead we just choose the one direction and we move forward with it. We move forward with confidence and with clarity and with absolute commitment. And the truth is, success is not an accident, right? It's something you decide and then you go out and you create it. So define it for yourself and then go all in on it. Make the decision to succeed in your career, in your life, in your relationships. Because when you do that, anything is possible. Because you open up new realms of possibility that you may not even know exist right now. And you let go of all the things that are not serving you and you step into the person you dream of being. And I want to leave you with this one final thought. There is no right decision. There is just the decision that you make right. So get clear on what you want. What does success look like for you? And then just commit to it. Go all in. Have your own back because you need to be your number one believer. You need to hold that space for yourself, for what is possible, and go for it. So my lovely, have a beautiful holiday season. Enjoy this time. Think about you. Think about what you want for the new year and then make that decision to succeed. I'm sending you all the love. Have a beautiful day. Thanks for joining me on the Building Up Women in Property podcast. If you're listening on Apple Podcast or Spotify, I'd love for you to take a moment and review the show if you found it helpful, or share it with a few friends. Thanks again, have a beautiful day, and I'll see you next time.